project. We're actually going to throw in what we might call a bonus project, if you will. We'll do this nut bowl on tape here so you can see how it's done. It's done using the rotary table, and we use blocks. These are 3-inch square blocks that we've placed on the rotary table. And you can see that we've just made rosettes. There are actually 8 rosettes that go around the circumference of the piece here. They're mitered, of course, at 22.5 degrees. And then, of course, we created a bottom and the lid for it as well. You can see how the lid fits inside those 8 sections. And so we'll make that nut bowl here as a project so that you can see it on video. Let's go over just a couple of items of preparation here. You'll notice that we've got our blocks here ready to go. We've mounted double-sided tape, double-sided carpet tape onto those pieces, and we've also got our rotary table mounted to the rails of the machine so that as that piece then sits on top of there, we can simply bring that router in and mill on top of that piece. And so we'll take, again, these are 3-inch square. We'll just take those pieces, and you'll notice that we've got lines here on our table. We'll just line up the corners of our blocks with the lines there, and that should get us real close to center. Now the other thing that we've done is we've actually lined up the handle on the rotary table so that when it is down completely, then you'll notice that this line lines up with it. And so we've got some indexing lines there, if you will. In this case, we're actually going to mill one complete rotation, and we'll have the flutes on the piece. For this particular rosette, we're actually going to use an 1.5-inch rope molding bit that you see here. That's the only bit that we'll use. We're going to bring that bit in, of course, and set our plunge depth just by setting that on the edge, the shoulder of the bit, on the edge of the material, and then giving it a little bit more depth than that. But then we're going to cut 8 flutes around the circumference of that, and we'll do that again by rotating the rotary table 1 full rotation. So we're actually going to rotate it 8 times, 8 different times. Once we're done with that, then we're going to set the point of the bit right on the outside edge there, and that then is going to allow us, as we rotate that, to turn that corner, that edge off there that you see going around it. And then I don't know if you can tell, but on this edge we've also turned this corner off, and so we'll do that as well with that same bit. When we set our rotary table up, we set it so that 36 inches on the x-axis, the long axis, was center on the rotary table. So we're actually going to pull the router in and lock the split nut down on the 36-inch mark. Once we've lined that up to center, we'll bring this stop collar in and lock it into place, and then we'll be able to drive the router right into that stop. Now you can see there that as we have created those flutes, you can create different designs just depending upon the type of router bit that you use, the diameter of the router bit, change that out, or change the number of flutes. If you wanted to go every half rotation and give it 16 flutes, you can offset it so that it's not coming to center, and it'll give it a little bit of a twist or a spiral to it. So there's just a wide variety of different things you can do. Use your imagination. But that's how we created the one that you see on the nut bowl. You create 8 of those, of course, and then of course we're going to miter the edges, biscuit join them together, and glue it up with rubber bands around the outside of it, and you'll have a nice bowl. And then once that bowl's together, you can actually mill the mortise to receive the bottom on the table as well. So